If I said the words, the greatest NBA Finals ever, what first comes to your mind?
That's tough.
Or your favorite, I'll say greatest or favorite, it's a toss-up. It's a difference in wording. But
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
I'll change it to, no, I'm gonna leave it at greatest. I'm gonna leave it at greatest. I'm gonna leave it at greatest.
the when LeBron James won his second championship with the Miami Heat, that was probably to me probably the greatest finals for me personally.
That you talking about Ray shot.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ray Allen
Yeah.
shot. I'm just talking about like the game seven. We were talking about the game six. I just remember where I was. I was at home. Like I was a diehard Miami Heat fan. Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time, other than Allen Iverson. But I remember I was at home, literally, teenager, tears running down my eyes out of frustration and upsetness because it was just like,
Frustration.
damn. Yeah. Because like before that, it was just like, yo, it was looking like it was over with. They was bringing out the trophy. I remember on the ESPN cut to the scene, like they bringing out the trophy for the San Antonio Spurs and stuff like that. And then everything happened. So
Yeah, I had a moment like that. It wasn't in the finals, but um, the one of my most sad moments as a child was that shot that Tim Duncan hit years ago against the Lakers.
bank
It
shot.
was like it pissed me off. Derek Fisher saved the day though, right? But before I didn't even get to watch Derek Fisher save the day. Like I remember watching Tim Duncan hit that shot.
Yeah.
I turned on the TV and I was so pissed. I didn't even
Yeah.
watch. And then I heard my mom yelling and shit. I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on? And Derek Fisher obviously ended up hitting the point forward shot after walk
Yeah.
off and all that. But that just goes to show you that the game is never over. The game is never over. And to your point too, about that finals with Bron and Ray hitting that shot, it was
It's
special.
crazy. Special.
Shout out to Norris too, because in that finals where Ray hit the shot, you can see Norris like low key in the corner jumping high as hell, like on the verge, on the verge of what it would end.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a finals moment. There's so many moments in finals history where you got to ask yourself, what would have happened if it went the opposite direction, right? Like, what happens if Ray misses that shot in the 2013 finals? What
I don't
happens?
know. A lot of
Right?
things
Like,
happen. I don't want to think about
it
what
changed.
happens.
And,
It's
and I'm
crazy.
not even saying that from like a, legacy thing or whatever, but just feel like just the overall landscape, right? Like, what happens if, the Warriors don't blow a 3-1 lead?
Yeah.
Right? Like, do we even witness a Kevin Durant to Golden State kind of thing?
Nah, definitely not. So that's
You
what I'm
know,
saying. It's
like
a lot of things that happens.
it's a lot
It's
of what
tough.
ifs. It's a lot of what
Uh,
ifs.
And
You
that's what
know,
makes that's kind of what makes the NBA Finals beautiful, to be honest, because it's just like you get to like witness these moments, and then you get to go back and look on like where was I at during this finals? Where was I at during this time and stuff like that? Who was I with? That's why the NBA Finals is very, very special.
yeah. And there's another finals moment that I remember too of Ray. He had a certain Laker on an island. I won't say this Laker player's name, but he had this Laker player on an island, and this was Boston Ray. So again, obviously, fantastic shooter, fantastic player, but it wasn't really Seattle or Milwaukee Ray.
Yeah,
So the
yeah, yeah.
idea of putting people on an island, that wasn't really who Ray was at that point in his career. He could do it, but like you would think, that's like pause territory. Anyway, he had this person on the island, and it was closer to the end of the game. And I kid you not, I've never played a single game in the NBA, and I probably never will. But what I saw from this damn defender, what I saw from that damn defender cost us the game, and now in one of Kobe's potential rings. But it's crazy though, because like obviously we know as ball players, right? Like one possession can dictate an entire game, but at the same
Yeah.
time, one possession can dictate an entire series. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with NBA Finals, man, it's beyond want to go home. It's either win or have your legacy addressed.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
also
we here.
and also it's a good time to understand that like, yo, you don't know if you're gonna make it back. Like so many times, like we think about legends that went to the finals, like, oh, they'll be back. Never made it back before. Like we look at Allen Iverson, never made it back before. Charles Barkley, Gary Payton, never made it back before. So it's just kind of like, and some guys, once you get to the finals, like capture the moment, enjoy it, because like you said, it's you never know what can happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one possession, one play can change the whole series. One possession can change the whole series, or and just change the way the momentum breaks for one team compared to another. So it's very special in a way.
Yeah, and let me ask you that, right? Because you brought up a great point. I didn't really think of that. The idea of not even returning, right? Making it one time, regardless of age too, is extremely it says a lot to a player's career. Because a lot of people don't even go at all. Some players barely make it to conference finals, so on and so forth. So would you rather have a career like Charles Barkley or a career like Robert Ory?
Career like Charles Barkley, I'm always going to pick the superstar player, the guy that's the best player on the team, making them the millions of dollars, the guy that's kind of like has the responsibility of being the best player and kind of like getting the team to the mountaintop. Even if you lose and never win at all, it's just like I would rather like have that as a player if I, could be a player or whatever. Because it's just more special. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're more loved, you're more remembered. Everybody still remembers Charles Barkley. Nobody really talks about Robert Horry. Respectfully, of course.
Right, of course, it's all love. Um, but that's a good point. We talking about Charles. Is Charles Barkley a top three power forward of all time? No, I'm gonna raise it up to five.
I
I'm
mean,
thinking to myself. I'm thinking. Yeah,
talk to yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think he is? All right, let's work backwards here.
I don't
Is,
yeah.
let's work backwards here. Is Charles Barkley a top five power forward of all time? You got Tim Duncan. You got KG. You got Dirk Nowitzki.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah.
Giannis. You throw.
Yeah.
I ain't saying
Yeah.
that. Okay, Giannis in the top five. Okay,
Yeah.
two-time MVP. Got a chip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw Charles in there.
Did you say Tim
I'm gonna throw
Duncan?
Charles in my top five. I said Tim Duncan. I'm gonna throw Charles in my top five.
Yeah. So yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
You
But that
know,
just goes to show you, like, yo, like you can be a top five player, you know, during your tenure in the NBA and never reach the finals or reach the finals once and never win it all, depending on like who you run up against. Like those guys
yeah,
during that time ran up against Michael. Some guys ran up against LeBron. Some guys ran up against like, Stephen Curry. Like it's very hard. And that's why people talk about like LeBron James' final record. But like I always say, most people are 0-0.
uh, hey, it's a challenge to get there. And like the thing is too, I think a lot of teams and players sometimes have the mentality of, oh, if we made it this year, we'll be back next year. You don't know. Like you don't know. Like there's so many things that can happen. Like, obviously knock on wood, whatever, injuries is one, trades,
Yeah.
other teams, leveling up and getting better. Like you really have no idea. So I think when you're
Yeah.
in that moment, it's like, all right, obviously you want to get it done, but I think you put
Yeah.
even more pressure on yourself to say, like, yo, we may not be back here ever again. Right. So don't
Yeah.
say it to yourself, like even like a young team with Boston, as great as they are, who knows if they'll be back.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So
even Jason Tatum talked about that about being a young team and thinking like going to Eastern Conference Finals. He was like we about to do this, keep going and going, and then it was just like a little window where like that didn't happen. So you don't know if you're going to ever reach the finals again. So that's why I say embrace it, enjoy it, and go out and try to win it.
yeah, and we could be witnessing something, a crazy, crazy shift for Jason, right? I know everyone, constantly talked about the journey that was taken to get here, right? You beat Kevin Durant and the Nets, um, Giannis and the Bucks, Jimmy and the number one seed Miami Heat, and then now potentially if he goes out and beats Stephen Curry and the Warriors, that's one hell of a path. But I
Gets
think
scary.
too, it gets scary. It gets scary. I will give credit when credit's due. And look, we we've been saying it for a while. Go out and prove it. I'm not opposed to putting anybody in the top five or without the top or outside the top five. My thing is just go out and do it, and show why you belong. And I mean, you the best
I think he's shown
player.
that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like you're the best player on a team that's in the finals.
Yeah,
You
it's gonna
know,
be interesting. I'm glad, like I said, me growing up rooting for Miami. Of course, I would want in Miami to go to the finals, but like for a matchup standpoint, the Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics is a better matchup um, for this NBA Finals because they just match up well together. Because you got a team like the Warriors that can shoot, a lot of guys that can score, and you got a team like Boston that can defend, and also you got two elite wings and shot creators that can put the ball in the hoop as well, and Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. So.
Yeah, and it's a blessing to see a good matchup in the finals. And I say that because there's been certain finals where you kind of either knew who was going to win or the matchup didn't always align, right? Like you could just tell how dominant Giannis was in last year's finals, like those Warriors series, like regardless of how great LeBron was and
Yeah,
is,
true.
it was like, okay, unless bruh man go out there and give me a 50-point trip dub,
Well, I mean,
good job. But like,
I will say it's a great matchup, but make no mistake about it. The Golden State Warriors should win this series. To me,
absolutely. I'm saying I agree, first things first.
no, because
But like
it's people.
in
It gets
comparison,
Because people talking about all this and Stephen Curry and this. Go win it, because don't lose it.
does that get nasty? No, let me ask some. Is it worse for Steph to lose this finals or for him to win and not get finals MVP? Think about that. Really, really think about that though. Really, really think about it. Is it worse for him to lose or to win the chip and not get finals MVP? And for the record, y'all, you already know, rooting for Stephen Curry in all aspects of life. But
Yeah,
gotta raise a question. Gotta raise a question.
I would say that he's losing if he don't get Final MVP. Like if he's not up to get Final MVP, the Warriors are losing, because that means he didn't play up to his caliber.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, we've
No, I think
seen
if he goes out and like wets the bed, meaning like averages like 15, 18 points and stuff like that, or 20 points per game, I don't think they're gonna win. I think Steph has to be dominant, because I think other guys can be taking out the game, especially with this Boston Celtics defense.
that's a good point too. I mean, this Boston, the team obviously is for real, but the defense and the
Yeah.
ability, to switch and guys
They
that can
got thing is they
guard
got
one
exactly you
positions.
said. There you go. You said switch guard. They got Boston Celtics love to what the Golden State Warriors love to do is kind of look for guys on the opposing team's defense and try to attack them. They can't do that with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, but I mean, one thing I will say with this team is that they are very experienced, right? This isn't their first go round. This damn sure ain't their first finals, and they're ready. They've been able to. It might have been you that said this, and if it's not, I apologize. But just I did like they've been able to have a team designed to win now, but at the same time build for the future, right? We've seen them keep their core group together. Obviously the big three, but at the same time develop guys like Jordan Poole as well as Andrew Wiggins, right?
Mhm.
And shout out to Andrew Wiggins too. Like I know he's like gotten a lot of shade over his career and stuff like that, but like you know,
Jonathan Kaminga, they
you know what I'm
develop as
saying?
well.
Fit and role matters in this league. Despite what other people's expectations are of you, like where you play, who you play with is very very important. Like not everyone is going to be Kevin Durant. Not everyone can be a damn LeBron James. So to see him in this new role and thriving and playing in the NBA Finals and being in the damn All Star game, like that's a testament. But I mean, yeah, the Warriors should get it done. But I'm holding. Look, let me tell you this right now. I don't know why I just went to level 5, but I want to say this right now. If the Celtics go out and win this NBA Finals, first things first, congratulations to them. Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, all that, cool. If you guys want to sit here and say he's top 10, you guys want to sit here and say he's top 5, cool. Even that, I won't even care because that means he would have done it. But if the Celtics lose this series, I do not want to hear a single word about Jason Tatum is young. I don't want to hear that. I don't want people to use that as an excuse. I don't want people to use that as no damn, card to play. No. You either think that he's a very talented basketball player and that he's top 5 or top 10, whatever, or you sit here and say like, okay, right now he's going up against Steph, so I don't expect him to win. I am tired of the flip-flop. You hold him to a high standard, or you sit here and accept that he's a young ball player and that his time is on the way. I don't want to hear no on the fence shit. I don't. Like that stuff to me bothers me. Like, no. Pick a side, stay on it. Before the series starts too. Don't wait, halftime of game 4 and all of a sudden, Tatum really cold. No. Say it before the damn series start and then we'll get active.
That's not even in
I'm tired.
JT. That's not even in JT makeup, honestly, because
First of all, I mean, him as an individual, I know, for me, I know he's like that. I'm just saying, with the rankings and the lists and the where he belongs on that. I'm tired of it. Tired.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think Jason Tatum, if he loses finals, he's going to get on a press conference and say, like Luka Doncic, like, I'm just 23 years old. Or like Tyler Hero, like, I'm only 22 years old. Like, no. Especially when, like, Tyler, you come out before the season saying, like, yo, when you mentioned Luka, you mentioned Jason Tatum, When you mentioned Luca, you mentioned Trey Young, also mentioned Tyler Hero. And then you had the playoffs you had. So Luca, he's Luca, so it's just like I can't really say too much. Him saying that's like, all right, well, I can't really say too much because he's cold. He's a top 10 player in the world. But still though, like I don't think Jason Tatum's gonna do that.
Yeah. We know what cloth he's cut from. I think win or lose, just want to see, a great NBA finals. You know what I'm saying? Like it's to the point now where like I think people have forgotten what it's like to witness and be okay with just watching and appreciating good quality basketball. You feel me? And so if we can get that, um, how many games do you think the series is gonna go?
My heart says Boston in 7. My head says Golden State probably in max 6, maybe 5. So,
I got Warriors in 5. I think Stephen gets his first Finals MVP. I think this is
oh
the
sheesh.
yeah. I think this is the series he gets it done. Um,
You saying it's a gentleman's sweep? You saying it's
and
basically
gentlemen,
easy?
gentlemen, out of respect, get the
I
party
will.
started.
I will say this.
Not too crazy.
I will say this: it's important for the Golden State Warriors to come out and put the foot on the Boston Celtics' neck, meaning like protect your home court. This is a Boston Celtics team that's been in the wars 3 rounds. They're probably going to be tired. Like you bought the Golden State Warriors, you got your rest. Like if the Boston Celtics steal a game, they're in for a long series. But if the Golden State Warriors protect their home court, meaning they go back to Boston 2-0, I like that 5-6 prediction even more. But if it's 1-1, because let me tell you something, you ain't winning both in Boston. Boston, that fan base, and how they get active, how they bring those players to life. You're not winning both games in Boston. So
I mean, didn't Miami just win 2 out there? I mean,
yeah,
and you
true,
mean,
true, true, true.
and Golden State to me is a better ball club. So I mean, I will say this though. I'm gonna give Boston credit in that they've proven that they can win on the road, right? Like, and that is extremely, extremely crucial, especially obviously being not having home court advantage, but in the finals, because I feel like even if it does go 5, 6, 7, Golden State's gonna get one in Boston, right? I think they're gonna get at least one in Boston, which ultimately means that if the Celtics plan on winning, they got to get 2 out in Cali. And they've beaten teams on the road multiple times before, but
All I'm
this
saying
this
is,
can be the real one.
when you're a veteran team and has been there before, it's important for you to show your dominance and put the foot on the opposing team's neck, especially when you have a young team that's never been to the finals before. Nobody on that roster has been to the finals. And the reason why it's important for them to make sure they're up 2-0 going back to Boston instead of 1-1, because you don't want to get these young brothers life. Because what you start doing is like, 1-1, go back, you split a game, 2-2. It's like, best of 3. Like game 5, what I'm saying? You start, these young guys, they start like, we here. You know what I'm saying? If it's you go down 2-0, they start pressuring their mind like, yo, we gotta win game 3. Like this is a must, what I'm saying? It's a lot of pressure, especially never been in a situation before. So it's just kind of like the longer this series gets, the more I like the Boston Celtics. Because I just feel like, yo, the confidence they're gonna have. And they already play defense. And it's just kind of young. When young players get confidence, it's just like I'm not really a betting man, but like the confidence that Jason Tatum has gotten throughout this entire postseason is gonna make me want to call for him probably being an MVP going for next year. That's the level of confidence he's got. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you start, even like Luka going to the Western Conference Finals with the team that he had, and he had a decent team, but it's just kind of like don't let him get like a real second star. And the confidence they're gonna have is the same thing with this Boston Celtics team. If they go out, it's kind of they remind me of the 2015 Golden State Warriors. Like they didn't know how to win, but then they won their championship against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then that's how the dynasty started. It's the same thing with the Boston Celtics. Like, yo, they're young. They learned how to win. This is their first trip to the finals. If they win, it can get very, very scary because now you got a guy in Jason Tatum that's 24 years old that'll look KD, Giannis, and beat the number 1 seed in their eyes, and then he goes out and he wins a championship. We talking now. Oh shit, Boston Celtics could have a potential dynasty on their hands if they
Yeah,
win this series.
yeah. I'll wait. Congrats to them if they win, but that dynasty word, I don't want to toss that around just too loosely.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
No, for
could.
real.
I mean, it could is a word that you use, but also too out
Could, yeah.
of respect to to the real dynasties. You know what I'm saying, that have done it. I'm gonna wait a little while, especially if it's the first one. I'm gonna wait, but I hear you. I'm with you. But I got a cap or no cap for you. Cap or no cap, Jordan Poole has a legitimate shot at winning Finals MVP.
He's not going to get the minutes. He should. And that may be the reason why the Warriors may struggle. Hopefully, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you want this to happen. I feel like Jordan Poole's their best shot creator. I've been saying that the entire playoffs. The way he can get to the rim, create at will, score at every level. And he's very skilled, super skilled. But I don't think he's going to get the minutes because I think that what tends to happen, when you reach these key moments in finals games, your coaches tend to go with the guys with the most experience and kind of win or lose, we're going to ride with these guys. Win and lose, Steve Kerr probably going to ride with Klay Thompson, even though Klay Thompson's not the same player he used to be, especially defensively. You know what I'm saying? Even this offensively, he's still, next year is really the true test because we always say it takes 2 years to really see if a player returns after his injury. So it's going to be a true test next year. But he's going to ride with Draymond, even if Draymond's not giving him nothing offensively. He's going to ride with Klay Thompson, even if Klay Thompson getting cooked defensively. He's going to ride with these guys because of that experience. So that's why I would say that even though I believe Jordan Poole should be starting, he's probably not going to get the minutes or really have the opportunity in the key moments of game, especially if it's close. He'd be on the bench probably more likely than Klay Thompson and Draymond.
Yeah, that's a rough one because obviously as a coach, dealing with emotions and guys that are proven and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is the finals. Who's playing well, who's not? You know what I'm saying? If Jordan Poole has a hot hand, it's going to be tough to put him on the bench. But I mean, I think Steve Kerr is in a great position. I always think that's a good problem to have. At the end of the day, he's still playing behind Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry. You know what I'm saying? So it's not oh damn, I can't put Jordan Poole in because I have Klay Thompson. But it's argument depends.
But I've already seen it this playoffs. It'd be different. It'd be different if Jordan Poole wasn't playing the way he was playing this regular season and this postseason. He's looked way better than Klay Thompson. If anybody should be coming off the bench respectfully, as great as Klay Thompson is, it should be probably Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? If we really being honest. But it's not because of the reason I said about experience, fanfare, the love, stuff like that. So that could be a detriment too to Golden State Warriors this series, possibly because what if you just keep going with Klay and he's not the Klay that we used to seeing in the finals? And Steve Kerr's just I'm going to ride with him. And then he may insert Jordan Poole in the lineup too late. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's always better, especially to have a guy when you play in a team that can switch 1 through 5, having a guy that can create at will. Having 2 guys that can create at will instead of having one guy. And you got Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins can create off the dribble, stuff like that, and score at every level of the basketball court. But we talk about really creation, Steph Curry can create, even though he's better off the dribble. Jordan Poole can create. So having 2 guys like that with a defense that switched 1 through 5. All right, you got Robert Williams on me. I'm still cooking. I'm Jordan Poole. I can create. I'm Steph Curry. I can create. You got Al Horford. I can create. Oh, you put Klay Thompson out there with Robert Williams. Boston Celtics may like that matchup. So it's going to get interesting. We'll see.
It's definitely a matchup series, I'll say.
Yeah.
But I think when it's all said and done, I'm going to go with the team that has the best player in it, and that's the Golden State Warriors.
We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, we'll play this. Going into the series, I feel that Stephen Curry is the best player. I can't sit here and say that after 7 games. You know what I'm saying? So, it could be JT. It could be JT. Yeah. Hell, it could be Jalen. To be honest with you, it could be Jalen.
Yeah, because you told me a while, slow down. Just because you win the series, I mean, you the better player. You told me that about Giannis. You told me that.
It sucks too because like I said, predictions and analysis and previews beforehand. Hey, this is who I think. But after you watch, then it's oh shit. We knew again, we talking about JT here, so we know he's cold. But at the same time, because we're talking about the finals, his first time We talking about Steph. What's this? His 6th finals. You know, I out of respect, I'm a. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I felt
but
with
that don't mean anything, though.
That's how I felt with KD.
You
Out
feel
of
me?
respect.
Yeah, out of respect. But I'm gonna tell you something. Jason don't care.
No.
Jason not line up saying, "Oh wow,
Your guys don't care.
That's Stephen Curry." Yeah, they don't give a shit. They shouldn't. But you know,
like I said, that's why go out and win these first 2 games, Golden State Warriors, because these young players don't care.
I'm gonna say this. I think it all depends on how they win the first one. Right? I think the first one has to be a blowout. But you know what though? Knowing Boston, man, the Warriors could blow the Celtics out game 1 and come back game 2. You know, the Celtics come back for game 2 and still look confident. You know, like there's a reason why they're there. You know, but they just gotta take care of business. So
I think I think game 1's a trap game though.
You think so? Why you say that?
I think it's like we'll come back, we'll talk. It's just gonna be a blowout or it's gonna be a probably Boston win. To me, we'll talk about it. But
Boston sneak one out. Hey, we're gonna see though. We're gonna see though. All right,
trap game.
It's been a lot of great
trap
NBA
game.
Finals before. Hopefully, this one can live up.
Are we coming back? Are we coming back? Were we coming back 2-0? When we talking the next 5? Are we coming back? Are we coming back 2-0?
Okay,
or are we coming back 1-1?
I think we going to Boston. Go and stay up 2-0. Damn, I don't. Ooh. All right,
there you go.
Off the record. Golden State takes game 1. Boston takes game 2. And then Golden State takes the next 3. That's my prediction. We head to Boston tied. You feel me? But then it's clipped after that. Golden State 3 straight. And yes, that does mean 2 on the road in Boston.
I'll be honest with you. If we come back and we're recording and it's 2-0 coming back to our next recording, it's over with. If we come back and if it's a split, then I'm probably taking Boston in 7.
I mean, to play this 2 games isn't enough for me to say the series is over, regardless of either way, because we've seen so many finals.
I think so, though, Theus.
I
think
so. Shout out to
you,
man. Shout out to Dwayne Wade. We done seen, shout out to Jan. We done seen a lot of teams, true. Be down 2-0 in the finals.
Yeah,
and then team to say, all right, let's get our back. And not just come back and win, but just win 4 straight.
But
let's back them up.
But it's different when you the champs and you're a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? You got this experience. But then again, to go to St. Louis,
hey.
So
we've seen crazier things.
They do got that on their side. So we'll see.
Man. So look, like I said, I just hope it's a great series. I don't need because low key on the lowest of keys, these playoffs been kind of cans. On the lowest keys, it's been. I mean, the ending to Miami and Boston, it definitely saved and blessed. But like for the most part, it's been kind of washed.
Yeah.
So
Boston,
we need.
Boston Milwaukee was the best series so far. Entire playoffs.
I like the Miami one too. I did like the back-to-back.
It was getting blowout.
Yeah, but I mean, it ended kind of fire. You feel me?
Yeah, it ended kind of fire. Yeah. So.
But yeah, housekeeping items before we slide in. Enjoy the rest of these NBA Finals. Make sure you subscribe to No Pump Face on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Blessed with the 5-star rating, and you already know, subscribe on YouTube as well. All right, No Pump Fakes, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, as well as YouTube. All right, and last thing that I want to address on a little bit more serious note, this BG situation that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar about is definitely a tough one to hear and know. This is something that's, I think, it's bigger than the basketball community. But in addition to knowing about it and receiving information, one thing that a lot of people can do to take action is visit wearebg.org. All right, there's a petition on that website, wearebg.org. If you're looking for more information and you're interested in taking actual action, right, and also utilizing the hashtag wearebg on social media as well to raise awareness. So much love to BG as well as her family. Like I said, I think this is something that's larger than just the basketball community. But just know, all right, wearebg.org if you're looking for more information, as well as utilizing the hashtag wearebg on social. All right, and just like that, y'all, we gone. Peace. What's up, y'all? It's T.S. McBee. Make sure you go follow No Pump Fakes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.